Uppercut. Yup. Southpaw, stepping to his right. That's where the power is going to come from. The legs. Boom. Left uppercut. It's like when you're an orthodox fighter and you step to your left, you're going to generate a lot of power to that right uppercut. You step to your left and you just let it rip. Right here, Terence Crawford, same thing. I can't throw with full force because I'm sitting down. I'm going to punch the shit out of my microphone. But y'all know. If you're back, welcome. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. We are here once again doing film study. Biggest fight of the year. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford has been talked about a lot amongst boxing fans. Outside of boxing, I don't know how many people are talking about this, but they should be. It's the fight of the year. It's going to go down Saturday, September 13th, Las Vegas. Both guys coming off of performances. Canelo versus William School. Terence Crawford versus Israil Madrimov. Those are the two fights we're going to see in this two-part series. We're going to watch through the key parts of each fight and see what to expect moving forward as we head to this weekend. Reminder, this is going to be at super middleweight. Canelo Alvarez's weight class, 168 pounds. Terence Crawford, who was best at 147, 140, 135, moved up to 154. Looked pretty good. Has never fought at 160 and is going to fight at 168. So he's jumping up a lot of weight to face Canelo Alvarez. But there are questions on both sides as it relates to age, as it relates to wear and tear, size in general. And we're going to get to the meat of all that in this two-parter. Reminder, do subscribe if you like what you hear, if you like what you see. And even if you don't, do it anyway. Comment also. I'm terrible at marketing this channel. I'm terrible at promotion. You could join the Discord. It's free. I'm trying to build that up as well. But I'm not the best at marketing stuff. I just want to focus on the work and hopefully build a community along the way, which is easier said than done. So if you do want to support, feel free. And let's get into the film study. So this fight took place August 3rd of last year for the WBO Super Welterweight Interim Championship. Terence Crawford, I believe, still has that, but we know that after this, he might be done. He might try to pursue something else. I have no idea about that, but we know that 154 probably not in his future at this point. Terence Crawford won this by a unanimous decision. Cards are pretty close, 116, 112, which is how I had it. There was also two 115, 113 scorecards. It wasn't the typical Terence Crawford dominance, and Israil Madrimov deserves a lot of credit for that. We'll get into why, but here you see round one. Terence Crawford immediately into the southpaw stance, obviously known for switch hitting, but you know, he has over the years more so fought as a southpaw fighter traditionally. Terence Crawford also never been a fast starter. He's always someone who, and we overuse this term, but he legitimately does it. So it applies to him at least. Downloads the information, studies what his opponent does in the first couple rounds before turning the tide and really taking over the fight and dominating from there. Sometimes he only needs one round. Sometimes he even needs less. And ultimately, when he figures you out, he has you. You can't take too much from this fight, I think, is because stylistically, and the styles matter. Stylistically, Madrimov is not going to do what Canelo's going to do, and vice versa. Like, Canelo Alvarez is not going to be this active early. Like, he doesn't want to move this much. This takes a lot of movement. Jab into the body, popping back up here with Terence Crawford on the ropes. Crawford pushing forward. Boom, slips in that right hand. So this is something that Canelo Alvarez, especially if Terence Crawford is going to be in that southpaw stance a lot. Lean on this, obviously. You know this. If you know boxing, you know this. It's very, very, very simple. But if you're fighting somebody who's a southpaw, you want to get to that straight right hand right here. Boom, there's a little duck there for Madrimov. So it's not just the right hand and just standing there, and also moves his head back afterwards. Terence Crawford is going to have to look out for that against Canelo Alvarez. Now, to be fair, Canelo Alvarez, he's obviously going to want to throw more hooks, uppercuts, because that's what he does. Madrimov, though, doesn't really have long arms. Canelo Alvarez neither. But Terence Crawford has a big reach advantage in this fight, even against Canelo Alvarez. Israil Madrimov, 5'8.5", listed with a 68.5-inch reach. Okay? That's about what you'd expect for someone of that height. Terence Crawford, same height, basically, roughly 5'8", probably closer to 5'9", potentially, but he has a 74-inch reach. That's a 6'2" reach. That's the reach of somebody who on average would be 6'2". Canelo Alvarez, as a comparison, he's listed just under 5'8", 70.5" reach. So longer arms than Madrimov by 2 inches, but Crawford still has a big reach advantage here. I do think similarly Crawford will be on the outside and Canelo Alvarez will sort of try to cut him off from the inside. Nice body shot there from Terence Crawford. Let's look at that one more time. Body shots are also going to be big. Boom, boom. Double body shot too. Doubles up on that. That's real nice. Real nice. His punch selection's always been awesome. I mean, look, these guys are one of ones. Terence Crawford, undefeated, and for good reason. Like, there's not a debatable fight on his record. You know, I mean, some people would say this one, but I don't think it's debatable to the point where you could say Madrimov won the fight. If you want to say it's a draw, I mean, I guess I'll hear you, but Terence Crawford, I thought won this fight. Ooh, that's beautiful. So let's go back even more. I feel like there's a setup here. Listen, Terence Crawford doesn't do things on a whim. Like, he's very, very calculated. Okay, he's a thinker, but he's not an overthinker. Terence Crawford, before Madrimov is even able to throw anything, left uppercut, boom, ends the combination with the straight right hand, which is a jab from the southpaw stance, which I love. I love ending combinations with the jab. I wish more guys did it. I think a lot of skilled boxers do it. This is something that we saw like Pernell Whitaker do, for example, at times. And there are countless others. I remember Miguel Cotto actually doing this at times as well. But ending the combination with a jab is something that's a little more old school. And then here, knowing that he could land that right hand, this one, he turns over, bang! That's more of an uppercut, shovel hook type of punch. Right as that's happening, Madrimov throws a jab. That lands, but Crawford gets the better of that exchange. And if Canelo Alvarez closes the gap and really gets in there, you have to watch out for shots like this, especially with someone with a reach advantage. Canelo Alvarez, to be fair, has had to navigate that throughout his career, like fighting guys who are taller, longer arms, things of that nature, but none as talented, recently at least, as Terence Crawford. Probably the last guy that he fought that was this skillful would be Dimitri Bivol, and Dimitri Bivol was a natural, or is a natural light heavyweight. So there's differences there, but this is going to be a challenge really for both guys. That's a beautiful, beautiful shot from Crawford there, though. A good right hand from Madrimov. Couple things here. Range finder, commit, boom. There's the right hand. That just gets through. It's not like the straight right hands were landing every single time, but more than you would be accustomed to. And I think that has to do with Madrimov. Madrimov is also very awkward, tough dude to look good against, so to speak. A tough dude to do what you do against. We saw this in this fight after with Virgil Ortiz. Now that one I thought was closer than this. Two judges had that 115, 113. Another had it 117, 111, which I thought was kind of crazy. I thought that one has a better case for being a draw than this. And stylistically, Virgil Ortiz is not Terence Crawford. Different type of dude. Very obviously an outstanding fighter, just different type of boxer. So that stylistically not going to be the same as this. Terence Crawford's trying to play counter punching chess a little bit more. Like here, boom. So Madrimov kind of telegraphs the right hand there before he can even get to it. Crawford's there with the left. Misses a few other shots, but then gets out of the way. And there's another right hand from Madrimov. Round 4 now. Here we go. Boom. And Crawford, like, he has us scouted. Look at his left hand right here. Has it scouted. Doesn't fully catch this. Tries to. Sees it coming. But sometimes it doesn't matter because Madrimov put more force behind that right hand. He was able to get to it and get out of the way. He's doing a good job of just continuing to move also, not just throwing the right hand, like I said earlier, where he's throwing, he's moving, grows to his right here, and then he's on the chase again. It's good stuff from Madrimov. Uppercut. Yup. See, southpaw, stepping to his right. That's where the power is going to come from. The legs. Boom. left uppercut. It's like when you're an orthodox fighter and you step to your left, you're going to generate a lot of power to that right uppercut. You step to your left and you just you just let it rip. Right here, Terence Crawford, same thing. I can't throw with full force because I'm sitting down. I'm going to punch the shit out of my microphone. But y'all know, if you do box or just no boxing at all, you know what I'm talking about. So he steps here, uppercut is coming. Bang. That's beautiful there. You could also turn it over, get to your right hook there, and continue to step to your right as well. Knew the uppercut was coming. Bang! Throws that right behind it. Obviously, because if you're a southpaw, left uppercut, right hook. If you're orthodox, right uppercut, left hook. Just a natural motion, just flow state stuff. Doesn't really get all the hook. Kind of punches Madrimov's glove out of the way. No straight left hand there, because a lot of times if you're a southpaw, then that left hand is right here. If you're orthodox, uppercut, hook, then that straight right hand right there. But Terence Crawford didn't quite get all of that there. Takes another right hand, although that went very light, but then returns fire here, trying not to lose out on the exchanges. And he lands, boom, that left hand with more force. Tough to see from this angle, but right there, you see that. Boom, straight left. And then that's another one. Straight left hand, right hook. If you're a southpaw, another combination that Canelo Alvarez has to watch out for. Now, this is something I think Canelo Alvarez will do. So just reach with the jab, just touch him. Overhand right, boom. Doesn't really get all of it here. Doesn't really land a lot of it here. But this is something I expect Canelo Alvarez to throw more of these than Madrimov did. Didn't really have an effect here. Crawford had that pretty well scouted. Nothing doing there. Expect that from Canelo, though. You're seeing Terence Crawford like here, for example. Here's the left hand coming. High guard, high guard, high guard. Boom. Just blocking a lot of these shots. And Canelo Alvarez is somebody he's going to pound your arms. He's going to, even when you have the high guard, he's going to hit you in the wrists and the forearms and the elbows and the shoulders, try to get your arms tired so that when you're moving around, you don't have the high guard deployed. You're dropping your hands and then it makes you easier to be hit. So I wonder how much Canelo Alvarez is going to do that. Terence Crawford had a lot of high guard in this fight, and he tends to obviously deploy the high guard, but from a counter punching perspective, it's not the only thing in his arsenal. And why he's so good is how versatile he is. This is another reason why the body shots are going to be important. The body shot battle between the two of them. So Crawford here doesn't land that right hand. Boom, gets in a couple nice looks to the body as Madrimov tries to close the gap. Canelo has to watch for that. Couple nice ones there. Then over here, gets out of the way of this right hand. Canelo will throw this. Gets out of the way of that overhand right. Gets in closer, but as he's trying to force an inside fight here, there's Terence Crawford. Boom, boom, boom. A few body shots there, and now they separate and that's the end of the round. And hello, Bam Rodriguez, who is awesome, by the way. If you don't know Bam Rodriguez or haven't seen much of him, that dude is a problem, a pound for pound problem. Terence Crawford just kind of got to put more force behind that one. But look, uppercuts are something that Canelo Alvarez is going to try to get to. And I wonder if this will work, but it's more so about the range, because also he's covering up with that. You see that this is his right hand defending, and his left hand has the guard up because he knows that Madrimov is going to try to throw something over the top, and he does, and it's blocked. And now they can reset because Madrimov doesn't have the range. And then Crawford here, that's a beautiful combination in round 8. Beautiful. You see the reach here just on display. Couple shots to the body, little jab there, uppercut, hook, straight left hand. The exact combination we talked about earlier. From a southpaw standpoint, that's left uppercut, that's right hook, and that's straight left hand. Try not to hit my mic. And then if you're righty, you already know. You see it right here from Terence Crawford at the end of this 6-punch combination. There's boom, boom, boom. That was the last 3. That's going to be a weapon this weekend. Uppercut, boom. kind of gets blocked, but gets in there. Right hook, and then boom, straight left hand. Wasn't like it didn't kill Madrimov or anything like that, but unleashing that 6-punch combination that's going to look good for the judges. Boom, back to that right hand. What's Madrimov got here? Boom. Now that time he just kind of paused a little bit, tried to freeze him a little bit. Crawford's just there, fell asleep for a second, boom. Just gets caught. It gets caught again after that. Terence Crawford sticks out his tongue because he also has a great chin. As if to say, you can't hurt me with that shit. But there's a couple nice shots there. There's a Canelo shot. So Terence Crawford was boxing well in this round. Boom! Catches a left hook there. Be careful, because if Canelo lands one of those, I don't think it'll drop him, but that right hand is low. That right hand is down, because he throws a right hook here. Just perfectly timed. Then over here, instead of going back to that straight right hand looping shot, doesn't get any of it, but these are things Canelo Alvarez I think is gonna have like really lean on in this fight coming up. And then over here, a brief fencing battle. There's a jab, boom, right hand for Madrimov there. Doesn't get all of it, but that's a landed punch, and beautifully rolls out of the way of that left hand over the top. Oh, good body shot there from Crawford. Look at this. Always moving his head, always in position. Boom, there's the left hand. And Madrimov has to regather his balance there. There's a left hand, that left hook that we talked about. One of the straight right hands that he landed. There's another one. Madrimov landed some shit, man. Ooh. So did Terence Crawford. Now this is a shot that he should throw. 1000% throw. Madrimov bouncing in, the Soviet style rather. Boom! Left uppercut, Terence Crawford. And Madrimov just shoves him off. That was a beautiful left uppercut there. And then Madrimov tries his own left uppercut here. Crawford, it's tough to see if this landed. I think it did land. It looks like it got through. His head bounced back like it did, that's for sure. It's tough to see from this angle. Maybe they'll have the replay of it, but that's a great return fire there. And then Crawford landing left, right hook there. Madrimov tries to fire back. Just good back and forth action in this. It's good stuff. It's good stuff against the southpaw. This is exactly what you want against the southpaw. Right hand, boom. Roll underneath that left hook. Boom. Beautiful. That's what you want. Just keep moving to your strong hand. That's what Madrimov did. It's beautiful work. Good exchanges here. Crawford not dominating as he typically does, but is very much, I think, getting the better of more exchanges than he isn't, but it's a close fight nonetheless. Good left hand there on the inside. Madrimov standing up to a lot of shots, clinching at the right times here, like right there. Terence Crawford has him in trouble a little bit. Beautiful. There was a knockout streak on the line. He had about 10 straight fights that he won by knockout leading up to this fight. All of them at welterweight. The last time he hadn't knocked somebody out and won the fight was Victor Postel in 2016. So 8 years before this, that summer. Since then, just 10 straight wins. 11 straight wins, as a matter of fact. Errol Spence was 11th by knockout or technical knockout. Like Terence Crawford's the rare guy where he grew into his power more as his career went on. Now, we'll see how much is left, and it's a different weight class, but he got to be a better finisher once he moved to welterweight. That power wasn't there sitting there at just 135. Like, it carried and then some. Let's look at some punch stats, actually, before we get into part 2. Canelo Alvarez and William School from earlier this year. That fight stunk, but we got to cover it. We got to be objective about how we do these things. Okay,